Hey everyone, Micah here with Electrek, and today we're reviewing the FWheel A5 electric bike. Let's check it out. The FWheel A5 is your basic, prototypical Asian-style e-bike. What I mean by that is that this is the type of e-bike that is common in much of Southeast Asia. These types of e-bikes usually share a few key details. They're small and compact, usually having seating for more than one rider, they have large batteries, and they're budget priced. And the FWheel A5 fits all of those categories. It rolls on small 14-inch wheels, and its minimalist frame means it weighs just 49 pounds or 22.5 kilos. Sure, that's heavy for a pedal bike, but compared to a lot of American e-bikes, it's actually pretty lightweight. The small wheels mean you do need to be careful about hitting large obstacles or potholes, but this e-bike is designed for city riding and sticking to bike lanes or nice streets. It does have a bit of suspension though, to help when the streets aren't perfect. There's a suspension fork up front, and a suspension seat post in the rear. I know that suspension seat post looks dinky, but it actually works decently well. There's a little bench seat in the back also to carry a small rider, though they don't benefit from the suspension. I put my 8-year-old nephew on the back, and he seemed to fit decently well, though I think my 6-year-old nephew fit even better. I would have loved to see some foot pegs on the bike, since the boys had to rest their feet on the rear axle. Maybe that flies somewhere else, but that kinda seems like a lawsuit waiting to happen in the US. Though maybe you could just add roller skates on your kids and boom, problem solved. The FWheel A5 runs on a 48-volt system, not a typical 36-volt system like you'd expect to see on such a small bike. That means it's actually quite peppy and powerful. It's listed as a 350-watt bike, but that motor is surely doing at least 500 watts continuous and maybe as much as 700-watt peak in bursts, depending on what kind of controller they have on this thing. The acceleration just feels way too powerful to be a true 350-watt e-bike. Plus, it's rare to see a 48-volt e-bike that's anything less than 500 watts of true power. There are also two choices of batteries, either small or gigantic. The small battery is a 360 watt-hour pack, coming in at 48 volts and 7.5 amp hours, while the gigantic battery bumps up the capacity to 21 amp hours, or a total of 1,000 watt-hours. They're actually the same physical size, they just add more cells into the bigger capacity battery. The range is rated at 40 kilometers or 25 miles if you opt for the smaller capacity battery, or as much as 110 kilometers or 68 miles if you go for the big battery. Now you might think those ranges are a bit optimistic, but the reason they're so high is that the bike only tops out at 15 miles per hour or 25 kilometers per hour. Yep, that's right, it comes with the Chinese speed limit programmed right in, and I have not yet figured out how to hack it, so I'm stuck in that slowpoke mode. For the city, that's actually alright, and 15 miles an hour in a bike lane seems respectable. Or, you know, if you've got a kid dragging his ankles on back, 15 miles an hour is plenty. But if you're trying to have some fun on the bike and ride it recreationally, you'll be wishing it could get up to 20. All in all though, the bike seems to perform nicely and it gets you good bang for your buck, starting at just $700 with free shipping. It might not fit the largest of riders though, since I'm 5'7" or 170 centimeters, and I can't imagine being much more than 3 or 4 inches taller, or maybe another 10 centimeters, and still feeling comfortable on the bike. Oh, and there's one other thing that bugs me about the bike. Listen to this. You hear that awful beeping? That's the Pedestrian Noisemaker. Apparently that thing must be required in China now, because the bike ships with it and it is awful. It beeps once you get above around 12 miles an hour, or about 20 kilometers per hour, and I am this close to just cutting the wire to it, though I think that's probably going to cost me my electrical horn functionality. Definitely worth it though to get rid of that. So yeah, summary time. It's actually a decent bike for a cheap price, and it gives you exactly what Asian bikes are designed for. Small, compact, and powerful little e-bikes with big batteries. But ultimately it is a small bike that might not fit everyone, and that freaking noisemaker is just awful. So if you can get past those two issues, it might make a good little commuter or utility bike for urban dwellers living in crowded cities. Maybe. Just maybe. Thanks for watching everyone. I hope you enjoyed that review. If you did, why don't you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can check out all of our electric vehicle videos. See you next time.